The 2026 NBA Finals are set. The San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. Two franchises that haven't been here in over a decade. Two teams nobody really expected at the start of the season. Wednesday night, somebody is going to start their NBA Finals MVP campaign. The award could go to a guy who's already been called the best player in basketball at 22 years old. It could go to a guy who just dragged the Knicks back to the finals for the first time since 1999. Or it could go to someone nobody's talking about right now. Today, I'm ranking the 5 NBA stars most likely to win the 2026 NBA Finals MVP. Let's get into it. At number 5, Dylan Harper of the San Antonio Spurs. Harper is a rookie. This is his first NBA playoff run, and he's been one of the biggest reasons the Spurs are even in the finals. In Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals against Oklahoma City, with the Spurs facing elimination at home, Harper scored 18 points off the bench in 22 minutes. He shot 5 of 6 from the field. The Spurs won by 27. In the Game 7 in Oklahoma City, a road Game 7 against the defending champions, he added 12 more points. The Spurs are using Harper as a high-leverage bench scorer who can run their offense in stretches when Castle or Fox needs a break. He plays older than his age. He plays bigger than his frame. If you're enjoying the breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. The case for him winning Finals MVP is real but narrow. He'd need to keep producing big offensive games off the bench while the starters take their normal finals-level performances. Think Andre Iguodala in 2015, a starter-quality bench player who anchors lineups when the alpha rests. It's the longest shot on this list. But Spurs in 7 with Wemby having a quiet Game 7? Harper's the dark horse. At number 4, Karl-Anthony Towns of the New York Knicks. Towns is the Knicks' second leading scorer behind Brunson. He's a multiple-time All-Star. He just got snubbed off every All-NBA team this year after being third team last season. He has the most to prove on this list. Towns is the offensive piece on the Knicks that nobody else on the team can replicate. The Spurs will have Wemby anchoring their interior defense at 7'4". Towns is the only Knicks player with the size and the touch to consistently put pressure on Wemby through floor spacing. The matchup is brutal. If Wemby locks Towns down, the Knicks are in serious trouble. If Towns hits 4 of 7 from 3 on a Wemby switch in Game 1, the entire series shifts. The Finals MVP path for Towns requires Brunson to play well but not dominate. It requires the Knicks to win games where Towns explodes for 30 points and Wemby's defense gets exposed. That's possible. The reigning DPOY can lose individual matchups in a 7-game series. If Towns is the one exposing him, he's in the Finals MVP conversation. At number 3, Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs. Castle won Rookie of the Year last season. This year, in his sophomore campaign and his first NBA playoff run, he's been one of the most consistent players in the entire postseason. In the 2026 playoffs, Castle has recorded 8 games of 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Among rookies and sophomores in NBA playoff history, only Magic Johnson and Larry Bird have done it more times in a single postseason run. In the Game 6 elimination win over Oklahoma City, Castle had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. In Game 7, he added 16 more points. He's the player who runs the Spurs offense alongside Fox in the backcourt. He defends Brunson-caliber guards. He hits big shots, he doesn't turn the ball over. The case for him winning Finals MVP is the same case as the rest of the Spurs. Wemby gets all the attention and someone else explodes for the moments that decide the series. Castle in the Andre Iguodala 2015 role, or the Cedric Maxwell 1981 role. The Spurs winning the title would be a 22-year-old superstar getting recognized as the best player in basketball, but a sophomore guard putting up 25 a night might actually steal the trophy. At number 2, Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. Brunson is the player making this Knicks Finals run possible. He's been the Knicks alpha for 3 straight playoff runs. This is the year he finally got them past the Eastern Conference Finals. He had 38 points in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. He had 35 points in Game 1 of the Round 2 sweep over the 76ers. He has been the late-game closer for every Knicks playoff series this postseason. If the Knicks win the finals, Brunson is the finals MVP. There's no argument. The question is whether the Knicks can win. The matchup against Wemby is brutal at the rim. Brunson is 6'2". Wemby is 7'4". Every drive into the paint against the Spurs is going to be a problem, but Brunson has shot creators around him. He has Towns and Anunoby and Hart and Bridges. He doesn't need to attack the rim every possession. He can play an ISO with the mid-range. He can pull up from three. He can find his shooters. Which of these candidates do you think is most likely to win Finals MVP? Drop it in the comments. I want to see the disagreement. The Spurs are favored. The Knicks are the underdog. But Brunson has been the underdog his entire career, and he keeps figuring out a way to get the Knicks one more win. If anyone can pull off this upset, it's him. And at number 1, Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. Wemby is the Finals MVP favorite. He's 22 years old. He just won Defensive Player of the Year unanimously, becoming the youngest player ever to win the award and the first unanimous winner in league history. He made All-NBA First Team. He was the most efficient scorer and the most disruptive defender on the Spurs all year. Then the playoffs got real. In Round 1 against Portland, he had a 7-block performance in Game 4. In Round 2 against Minnesota, he posted a 12-block game in Game 1. In Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, facing elimination, he had 28 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks in just 28 minutes. That made him the first player in Spurs franchise history to record 25 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in an elimination game. In Game 7 in Oklahoma City, he had 22 points and anchored a defensive effort that held the Thunder to 103 points in a game they needed to score 115 to win. The Spurs took out the defending champion Thunder in 7 games. Wemby was the reason. Now he's going to the finals. The matchup against the Knicks is favorable. Towns is the only Knicks player with the size to make Wemby work defensively. The Knicks don't have an answer for him at the rim, in the paint, or on the perimeter. He's going to win Finals MVP. 5 candidates. 1 trophy. The 2026 NBA Finals tip off Wednesday in San Antonio. Wemby is the heavy favorite. Brunson is the underdog who keeps getting it done. And a sophomore named Stephon Castle, a rookie named Dylan Harper, and a former All-Star named Karl-Anthony Towns are all one big series away from completely changing their careers. If you want more finals breakdowns as the series goes on, subscribe to Rim Logic. New videos every Monday and Friday. Appreciate you watching. I'll catch you next time.